Hi everyone, welcome to Technology. On this section, I'll be walking you through why do we need DevOps. On our last session, we talked about how software is being developed, the SDLC models and all that, and we still have problem. So why do we need DevOps? Let me walk you through that real quick. Although the software quality was improved, but still had lack of efficiency among the development team. A typical software development team consists of developers and operation employees. Those are the two teams that makes DevOps. All right, so let's understand their roles and jobs. A developer job is to develop applications and pass the code to the operation team. Developers are the people who write code in different languages like Java, C++, Python, and all that. So when they put all this code together, the operation people do not write code, so they do not know about codes. They don't even know how to correct codes and all that. The operation team role is to test the code and provide feedback to the developers in case of any code breaks or bugs. If all goes well, the operation team will upload the code to the build server. So the operation people are not writing codes. The developer will write codes and put it in a wrapper and send it down to the operation team. So the operation team role is to upload the code, test it, and launch it to the build server if everything goes well. All right, so here is the problem. Developer used to run and test the code on its environment before forwarding it to the operation team, which eventually run pretty fine. Developer will develop the application on the system, test the unit, make sure everything is working fine, then put it in a wrapper and send it to the operation team. The operation people will replicate the same environment that the developer had used in writing the code. And this might be the problem because sometimes developer might write code in different software or different version. And by the time it gets to the operation people, they have different version. They might have upgraded version or lesser version. And this is going to be a problem because, compatibility issue. All right, so let's go further and see about how they treat all this problem. Developer will say, but the code was tested on my system and it ran fine. Hence, it's not my fault. Then the operation team will say the same thing and mark the code as faulty. Operation people cannot correct the code. Operation people do not know anything about code. Operation people are the server people. They upload the code, they build it, and they maintain it. So they can't really mess with the code of developer. And on the developer side, you know what it's doing as well, because every code that the developer will develop and write, they have to test it on their own system. They call it unit testing. After unit testing, everything work fine before they can now pass on the code to the operation team. And like I said, operation team does not know anything about code. All their role is to upload the code and build it, So this led to a lot of back and forth between the two teams, hence impacted efficiency. Because right now, they're still wasting time. Look, they invented Agile to help in reducing time of releasing application. That's why they're practicing Agile. But on the Agile side, everything's supposed to go smoothly, but they still have problem between the team because this team, they are working in silos. Developer might be in different location entirely, and the operation team gonna be in different location entirely. They don't relate with each other. They have different roles. Developer is to code, and operation people is to upload the code. Developer do not upload code on server. All right, so this problem was actually solved using DevOps tools because right now this is DevOps tools and this is developer and the operation people. So before, traditionally, this developer used to write the code and send it to the operation people. And for the operation people to open this guy code, they have to replicate. Means if developer is using a particular version, that means the operation people needs to download that same version. But sometimes it doesn't work like that because this guy version might still be different from this guy version. This little problem leads to lack of efficiency between the team. So this is the reason why they invented DevOps. DevOps is not a tool, but it's an idea. But for this idea to come to life, they invented tools to do that. So before it used to be like operation people set up our server and all that. But right now, all we need to do as DevOps engineer, this is the developer plus operation means DevOps. So for you to work as DevOps, you don't have to be a developer, because developer transition into DevOps. That means developer who used to develop learn the tools of DevOps and become DevOps. And operation people who does not write code but upload on server learn the tools of DevOps and they become DevOps. So it's either you are a developer or the operation makes DevOps. So all they need to learn is the tools. So these tools does the job of human. Because right now, let's assume we got 10 teams in operation, but with DevOps right now, they don't need more than 2 or 3 people as DevOps engineer. Back in the days, it used to be like 10, 5 numbers, and company are wasting money. You can imagine company paying 150 to 200 as a salary, and they have 10 in that team. Not to talk of developers and testers and QA and stuff like that. So this helps company to save money, because all they need right now is about a couple of DevOps engineer. Tools like robots takes the job of human. So all they need right now is few people to learn these tools, and we don't need 10 people anymore on the operation team. We only need few people to control these tools, and that's what you're going to learn on this course. All right, so let's go ahead and compare traditional IT versus DevOps. This is traditional IT and this is DevOps. So on traditional IT, it's less productive, skill-centric team, more time invested in planning, difficult to achieve target or goal. But now on DevOps, we are more productive, team divided into special silos, smaller and frequent releases leads to easy scheduling and less time in planning. Frequent releases with continuous feedback makes achieving target easy. So right now on the DevOps with Agile, all you need to do is to release the application out there and start modifying it and start optimizing it and all that. Now software development is able to have a better tools to fine tune the quality of that application. So basically, this is the reason why we need DevOps, because some of you might think like Agile save time in production and all that. So why do we need DevOps? So there's a problem between the team because the team are not working together. But right now, with the DevOps tools, all they need to do is for developer to build and use a certain wrapper, send the same wrapper to the operation people. So before, operation people used to download and set up the same environment or server that developer use in developing application. But right now, it's no longer like that with DevOps tools. So all the developer needs to do right now is to put the code in a certain wrapper that he's going to download. So operation people do not need to download a new wrapper or set up a new environment anymore. All they need to do is to open the same wrapper that this guy already keep the code and run it, period. So now it's just like plug and play. It's not like he has to get to the operation people. They have to start preparing server and all that. The same server that the developer had used in coding is going to send the same server to the operation people. All operation people needs to do is to open the server, and that is it. So this is why we need DevOps. So this brings us to the end of this section, and I hope you learn. Thank you.